Hi everyone, it's Natasha. Welcome back to my channel. And today I thought I would bring you along as I try out a new recipe with a new ingredient I have never used before. Last night I was at Kroger and I got a few bargains, and one of the bargains that I found in their markdown section were 2 bags of this white whole wheat flour. So I have never used white whole wheat flour before, but it was marked down to $1.39 for 5 pounds. And so it was normally $2.69. I've been wanting to experiment with it, so I thought I would get the recipe or get the flour. And I went online and looked at a few recipes, and the recipe I came across that I want to try first with it is 100% whole wheat cinnamon swirl bread. Sounds delicious. So I'm going to bring you along as I make this bread, and so you're going to have to bear with me because I'm going to be reading off the ingredients as I put them in the recipe. So the first thing it said to do was to make a starter. In a mixing bowl, combine the white flour, the water, flour, and yeast, stirring until the flour is evenly moistened. Cover the bowl and let the starter rest overnight at cool room temperature or for 16 hours. So I did that. So here's my starter. And then it said add the remaining dough ingredients to the starter in the bowl and mix and knead by hand, mixer, or bread machine until you have a cohesive dough. So I'm going to go ahead and put the starter in there so you all can see. This is the starter that I put together last night. I'll go ahead and put it in my mixing bowl. I'm just using my KitchenAid electric stand mixer that I love. So I put that in there, and then it's going to want the remaining dough ingredients. So that is 2.5 teaspoons of instant yeast or active dry yeast, a 1/2 cup of lukewarm milk, and a 1/2 cup of orange juice. So I'm going to go ahead and put the 1/2 cup of milk in here, and then I'll go ahead and it just came out of the fridge, so I'll go ahead and put it in the microwave for a couple of seconds to warm that up. And while that's warming up, I'll go ahead and measure out my yeast. I'm going to use the active dry because that's what I used last night to make the starter with, so I'm going to stay consistent. Okay, so the milk is lukewarm. We'll go ahead and add the 2.5 teaspoons of instant yeast. Now, because I proofed the yeast last night in the starter, I don't have to proof this yeast that's going in, according to the recipe. So we'll see. So there is the milk with the 2.5 teaspoons of yeast. And stir that up a little bit. Add that to my starter. And then it wants a 1/2 cup of orange juice. It says to mix until you have cohesive dough, about 7 minutes. So go ahead and do that. That's mixed together, so I'll go ahead and add the rest of my ingredients. It calls for 5 tablespoons of melted butter, so I'm going to go ahead and melt that. And then 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And then 3 tablespoons of sugar. See if our butter's melted. Okay, our butter's melted, so go ahead and stick that in. And then it wants 1/4 cup of non-fat dry milk. Let me. I keep my dry fat milk vacuum sealed so that it's easy to get to and stays nice. I don't use a lot of dry fat milk, so this way it's fresh. Okay, there's my milk. And then it wants 1/4 cup of instant, half a cup of instant mashed potato flakes. Plain, don't get the ones with anything in them. Make your cinnamon bread taste funny. Okay, and then 2 3/4 cup of white whole wheat flour. And turn this on so it'll start mixing. Once you have a cohesive dough, turn it on and let it mix for about 7 minutes. So I'm going to let that work, do its magic, and then I'll bring you back in 7 minutes and we'll see how the dough looks. Alright, it's been 7 minutes. And turn the mixer off. Let's see the dough. Looks nice and cohesive. So we pull that out. It's not stuck. There we go. Okay. And it says, place the dough in a lightly greased bowl, cover the bowl, and allow the dough to rise until it's expanded and looks somewhat puffy, about 90 minutes. Note that kneaded dough in a bread machine will rise faster and higher than kneaded bread in a mixer, which will in turn rise faster and higher than one kneaded by hand. So if you're kneading by hand, you may want to let the dough rise longer than 9 minutes. So we're going to start with 90 minutes since we're in the middle. We didn't knead it by hand and we didn't use a bread machine, we used a mixer. So let me see here. Find my oil. It's over here. Grease this a little bit. Okay, and then my house is about 69 degrees right now, which really isn't terribly warm. So I'm going to warm my microwave up, and then I will put this in the microwave for 90 minutes, and that way it'll hold the heat. Don't worry, I'm not going to turn the microwave on while the metal bowl's in there. I'm just going to use it as my rising station. So I can win the battle of the saran wrap. Alright, so it's in the bowl, ready to go, and I will bring you back in 90 minutes and we'll check on it and see if it's ready to make into a loaf. Unplug the dehydrator so you can hear me. Okay, so it's been 90 minutes. Look, the dough turned out awesome. It's nice and fluffy. The directions say to gently deflate the dough and transfer it to a lightly oiled work surface. Shape the dough into a long rectangular about 16 by 9. Okay, so we're just going to use my nice clean bar here. Spray it with some vegetable oil. I got grease on it. It's hard to get open, okay? Okay. Okay, 16 by 9. So, decent size rectangular. If you can see me, let me move these out of the way. There we go. Alright, that looks really good. Now it says to brush the dough with some of the beaten egg. So I have 1 egg here. Grab it. I'm dirtying another bowl. Alright, it says, if you do that, it says, sprinkle the filling onto the dough. Note, scramble the microwave any egg you don't use. The dog will appreciate it. Well, I have 2 dogs, so I guess they will appreciate it. Now it said to mix cinnamon and sugar and flour together. Honestly, I already have cinnamon and sugar already mixed together, so I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle that on my rectangle. It says sprinkle, doesn't say how much. I guess it's probably to taste. And then it wanted you to mix the filling with the flour. We're just going to skip that step and just sprinkle it with a little bit of flour. Alright, a little more of the cinnamon sugar to it, because I think that is going to be what makes this bread so good. Okay, and now it says, begin with a short edge, gently roll the dough into a log, pinch the side seam and ends closed, pat the log gently to shape into a 9-inch cylinder and place into a lightly greased 9 by 5-inch loaf pan. Okay, so let's roll this up. And then it says to pinch the edges. And to pinch the seam. Pinch the other edge down. All nice and sealed up. It smells really good and hasn't even baked yet. Okay, let me get my loaf pan. Here's my loaf pan. Go ahead and spray that. And stick my, sorry, my hair's getting in my way. Stick the loaf down in here. And then it says, tent the pan with lightly greased plastic wrap or a shower cap and allow the loaf to rise until it's crowned over the rim of the pan by 3/4 of an inch, about 90 minutes. Don't let it rise too high. It will continue to rise as it bakes. Okay. Really, really nice looking loaf. I have my saran wrap we used earlier. We let it rise the first time, so go ahead and reuse that. And spray it so it doesn't stick to the loaf. Alright, we're going to lightly tent that. I'm going to stick it back in my microwave and let it proof in there for its 90 minutes. And then we're going to take it out. We're going to bake it. So I'll be back. Okay, so here is the finished cinnamon bread made with the whole wheat white flour. It turned out amazing. It is really yummy. And it's so much softer than I thought it would be. And it doesn't have that weird, I don't know, whole wheat taste that you get when you buy whole wheat bread in the grocery store. I don't know, I can't explain it. It just tastes fresh and yummy. So anyway, this is the whole wheat bread that I made. I'll leave the link below in the description so that you can check out the recipe for yourself. But I highly recommend it. It is really, really tasty. Thanks for watching. Bye.